Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time you are catching this broadcast. Thank you so much for joining me today. And it's your boy, it's Jay Moore. I'm your healthy accountant. And welcome to the Enlightenment series here on Facebook and also on YouTube. If you're catching this on YouTube, we were already on Facebook, and I thank you for catching me there. Subscribe if you have not already subscribed. I don't have many subscribers on YouTube, so we're definitely looking for more interested parties that, want to know more about life and business. Definitely subscribe to our page and like on Facebook, or follow me on Facebook if you have not already, on the J Moore Healthy Accountant page on Facebook. Guys, thank you so much for joining. And today's Enlightenment broadcast, the title today is, what is your potential? It's a question. It's not going to be a statement. It's a question, because I want you to ask yourself, what is my potential? What more am I able to accomplish? What more am I able to accomplish? What more can I do? You know, what's left? Like, how can I create something that's not even visible? So what is your potential? And so, it leads me to a story. And it was one of the stories. When I was growing up, I was in high school, and I loved basketball. Like, basketball was it. That's all we did. That's all I wanted to do, was play basketball. And I was learning and growing, and my brother was much better than me. And I remember just watching my brother, my brother was the smallest guy on the team. I'm going to my sophomore year. My brother was the smallest guy on the varsity team, but he was the best. He was the best guy on that team. Now, you may have some people say, oh, well, you got some guys, they could dunk and they could do this, but he was the best guy. He was the best basketball player on that team. He was the smallest one. He was so good that, at some of their practices, the coach would send him to the other side and say, hey man, just go shoot down there. I'm working with the rest of the team down here. But if you would have looked at him, because he was small, he was short. He was not just short, he was small, scrawny looking. He was little. But my brother was really good in basketball. And I'm gonna tell you, I watched my brother, and I would just watch him in amazement. I couldn't believe this was 1986, 87. And yeah, I know if you're catching this and you're a millennial or a little bit younger, you're probably like, wow, that's a long time ago. Absolutely. 30 years now. And I'm I'm talking about, I would watch him play. This was during the time when Michael Jordan was really just getting into the NBA, and so he loved Michael Jordan, and he was. I can't say he was obsessed, but he was really obsessed with his game, with Jordan's game. And here it is, this little guy, 5'6", um, maybe 5'7", little. I mean, he was tight, like little in body as well. And I'm gonna tell you, I remember watching, because we played an intramural game. We played an intramural game, and I remember watching him. It was a heated game. We was going against one of the other seniors who was really good, and this guy could jump out of the gym and he dunked, and so my brother Reggie, he went to the basket. I remember this. I was standing in the left corner, like, because that's where I stood. I waited for passes, shot the open jumper. I'm standing in the left corner, like basically 3 point, basically like back then we didn't have a 3 point line yet. So I'm at 3 point range, that far out. And so my brother's going to the basket. My other guy on the other team, his name was Skip. And he sees my brother going to the basket, and he's coming to block it. He wants to block the shot because he could jump. My brother, in midair, like, I saw it in slow motion. I couldn't believe it. he jumped so high, like he jumped really high. Because my brother was 5'6", 5'7", but the only reason he couldn't dunk really good is because his hands were small, and his adrenaline used to be going too much, and he just couldn't keep it down. But he could jump that high, and so he's in the air, and Skip comes to block the shot. And in the air, my brother turned. Literally, he turned in the air because Skip was coming. He turned in the air as if he was going to pass it. And then he wound up shooting it. He shot it backwards because he was like in front of the basket. He shoots it backwards and it just goes in. I could not believe this. Like, I'm standing in the corner and I'm saying, what in the world did I just see? Like, what did I witness? I just witnessed something that didn't look real to me. And I'm gonna tell you, that story sticks to me like it was yesterday. Like, I'm sitting here remembering it in vivid detail. That, like, there was only a couple plays. There's only a couple, plays that I probably remember from that game. Because that game went, we got cheated in that game. So that game we get cheated and we lose in the playoffs. But it was two plays. The play we get cheated and they went on the buzzer. And then that play. So that play sticks with me today. Why did I tell you that story? See, it's something about potential. Is that sometimes potential is one of these things that it doesn't, when you really are going towards your potential, it will look like things are impossible. It would look like there's no possible way you can do any of what it is you may be thinking or talking about. My brother was defying the odds. The little guy was the best guy. I'm talking about shoot, dribble, pass, defense. Like, if he played you on defense, you was afraid because he stole the ball a lot from people. I'm talking about he was living up. He was past his potential. Based on, if you saw him, you would not believe that this boy could do what he could do. He was living past his potential. How did that happen? Sometimes you don't always know how potential is pulled out of a person. You don't always know how potential is pulled out of a person. But I'm going to tell you, in one of my own stories, but with my own potential, basketball was another story that I can use because I remember, I didn't have confidence, meaning I could play, right? But I didn't really know how good I could be until one day. It happened twice in my life. The first coach in high school, my senior year. I think it was my senior year. My senior year, the men's dean, Mr. Fielder, decided to be the basketball coach. And I remember he believed in me, and he believed in me in such a way that all of a sudden I had more confidence. I had more confidence. And usually that's what it takes sometimes. Now, my brother was different. He may not have had somebody totally believe in him like I did to start living up to my potential. But when he started to believe in me, all of a sudden I went from like, I was good. I just kept getting really good. And it, led me to a text this morning because potential, reading the book as well, that probably had potential in my mind. But there's something about potential that a lot of times we don't live up to our potential. And sometimes it's like an anomaly why we don't live up to our potential. And so I went to a text in Luke chapter 5, verse 1, all the way down through verse number, what's that, 11. So I'm going to skip and basically this is the story where Jesus, he calls fishermen. Now, here's the backdrop. Jesus is out there preaching. He's talking to the people. The crowds were huge. And he's at the water, the shore. Crowds are so big. It's like they're pushing him. They're pushing him toward the lake. And so here it is. he's like, oh man, I've got to do something. And so, there's some fishermen out here. He see their boat, he jumps into the boat. Imagine somebody that you don't know just jump into your boat. He jumps into the boat unannounced, didn't ask, just jumped in, continued to talk. And then he had them push out a little ways just so that he had a little space between the people and him. Now, these guys have been fishing all night. They didn't catch anything. These guys, were seasoned fishermen, but they didn't catch anything. And here it is, got this guy on his boat. He's talking to the people loving him, and then after a while he says, hey, look, push on out farther, go further out into the deep water. And he's, so you guys can catch some fish. They're like, well, this is a bad time of day. Like we've already fished. We fished all night. We didn't catch anything. But Peter was like, okay, sure. If you say so. He called him master. So he knew who he was. If you say so, we'll do it. Go ahead and throw your nets out. Like, man, we didn't catch anything, but if you say so, we'll do it. So here's what happened. And this is the backdrop to the story, what your potential is. Jesus saw potential in these fishermen, in Peter. He says, wow, look at these guys. I see something. I see something in what they're doing. What is it that they're doing? They're fishing for fish. They're out here trying to get food, trying to pull in, an honest wage so that they can take care of their family. But you know what? I see more in them. I know that there's more in these fishermen. I'm going to show them. I'm going to show them how much I believe in them. Get out there and go fishing. Fish again. He's like, if you say so. He probably didn't have to tell them, hey man, I believe in you. But they did it anyway. It's kind of like, when someone says, hey, Jay, I believe in you. I believe that you can be the best player on this basketball team. Or I can believe in all the skills I see. I can't believe how much you're growing. And man, you just got to keep going, man. Look, let me work with you. Let me show you some moves here. Let me show you how, man, if you do it this way, if you stay low to the ground when you're dribbling, if you, kind of tweak your shot just a little bit, if you really hustle and if you really, take initiative when you're out on that basketball court and when you're in your defensive stand and you're basically pushing yourself to do more than you've ever done. I'm telling you, I know you can do it. And this is what I got when I was, 16, 17 years old from this coach. But here it is, Jesus now. He's like, hey, let's go out there, throw your nets on out. They didn't believe that they could do this. It's the wrong time of day. And here it is. The coach is with you, and he says, do it. You went ahead and did it. They went ahead and did it. And all of a sudden, they're getting more fish than they could ever get. See, sometimes when you get with the coach just has to get you to believe. They have to get you to believe first that it's possible. In my quest of being a better coach to other people, I have to believe, or I have to show you that it's possible, even when you feel like there's no possible way that I can do this, even when you feel that way. So if you feel like it's no possible way, it's my job to believe that there's something more that's in you and come out. And this is what Jesus is showing them. There's something more in you that you can tap into to reach your full potential. But sometimes the full potential of what you'll do in your life may not be the thing that you're working with. I'm going to tell you, this is a powerful story for myself, because I've had questions. I've been questioning, okay, where, the direction my life is headed in, and I'm praying, I'm asking God, okay, what is my potential here? What is it that you want me to do? How do you want me to do it? Show me. Yeah, I know I've been doing this thing over here, but show me what it is. And so we've got to all ask, like, what's my potential? Am I doing the absolute thing that I should be doing to reach my greatest potential? And so here it is. Jesus is like, they throw it over and they get all this fish. So much fish they had to call another boat. Hey, help us out. They were so weighted down that the boat almost went down, almost sank. So then they get back to the shore. And here's where the coach really reveals something that they didn't even see coming. And they get back to the shore, and they're in awe. They know, absolutely know. This is unbelievable. This is a miracle. This is somebody that knows something about fish, right? Because Jesus knows something about fish. He knows fish. Just like if we were in our right minds and right spirits, we would be able to go to the lake and get fish to just come right to us. I'm telling you, we could. I'm telling you that if we were in the jungle and we saw a lion, we can call him over and say, "Hey, lion, come on over here and help me out. Hey, go." Like if we were in the mind that Adam was in when he was created. Remember, Adam had to name all these animals. They were all subservient to him. So if we were in our right minds, these things wouldn't have been miracles for us. They would just be normal. But Jesus, being the divine that he is, he's able to do that because he's in the right energy. He's in the right mind. And so here it is. They're on the shore. And then they get back. They got all this fish. Maybe they're thinking, man, we're going to blow this up now. But Jesus is like, well, guys, here's what I want you to do. I want you to follow me. I'm going to make you fishers of men. You're going to use your skills of fishing, but you're going to use them to fish men. Man, you know how profound that is? That he saw potential in fishermen not to just fish, which they still fished. Because they still had to make a living. Don't get it twisted. They still had to fish. He saw potential in them not just to fish, but to go now and fish other people, show other people something that was amazing and is amazing. What did they do? And why did they do it? They decided right then and there that they would follow. And they took their big cash, the biggest cash they've ever gotten, and left it with the hired help. They had employees. They said, employees, take care of the fish. We going to head this way. So Jesus did a couple of things in this miracle here. He saw potential. He saw potential where it didn't look like the potential would come out. He saw the potential. He also proved his case by showing them that he could do something that they would want to learn how to do. He proved it before asking them. So he proved himself before he ever asked them to do anything for him. And he proved it in a big way. And then once he proved himself and showed that he was the real deal, then that's when he asked. So he gave more first. And then he asked, he says, hey, look, follow me. I'm going to make you fishers of men. I'm going to show you what your true potential is. This is what I'm going to do, but you got to follow me to find that out. Wouldn't you want to follow somebody that sat here and basically, just gave you everything, gave you what you needed, more than what you, in this case, gave you more than what you needed, gave you more. You wouldn't follow that person? Oh man, more than what I needed? Absolutely. He showed up right when they needed him. Didn't even know, here it is. They were probably sulking from not catching any fish last night. And here it is. He comes in the nick of time, proves himself, shows them that there's way more to come than just what we just did by, hey, I'm going to make you fishers of men. And they follow, man. See, what is your potential? See, what is your potential means that, hey, man, you've got to tap into a source that can allow your potential to be revealed. you know, every day when I come on to this program, my potential is being revealed every single day. Something new comes out of me. Like, I didn't know yesterday that I'd be talking about this. I didn't know it. And even if I knew yesterday what this topic was, because I've known my topics, I didn't know everything that would come out, because I'm allowing what the potential that he said he's going to pull out to come out. I'm allowing that to happen. See, what is your potential? See, a lot of times we are not using our potential. A lot of time we're not even getting close to what it is that we should be doing in our lives. Most people aren't. Most people are waiting. Most people are hoping. Most people are praying. And here's what happened. When they pray and then it shows up, then they don't believe it. I'm talking about, I've spoken to hundreds of people over the past couple of years. Like on the phone or in person. I've spoken to hundreds of people specifically about their situations in business. And here's what I've learned. Most people want something, and then when it shows up, they don't do anything. Like, this is the absolute truth. I mean, and I've seen it over and over and over. It's like it shows up. They know that this was what they wanted, but you know what? I don't have any money, or, I'm not too sure if I should do this right now. Oh, I don't know. Because you're not living up to your potential. Like, I had a conversation, and the conversation was that, with the young lady, is that she was wanting something, and then I popped up. Exactly what she wanted, I popped up. And so, but then she decided she didn't want to move forward. After I said, let's look back at this. You, at the exact moment where you were thinking about what you needed and what you wanted, here comes a message from me. She responded like, yes, I want it. Then said, oh, I'm not sure I want it. Oh, it's just, I'm afraid to move forward. I'm afraid to put myself in a uncomfortable state. If it's spending a little bit more money, if it's, using more of my time, whatever it is. I'm just going to put it off. Man, see, we miss out on the potential because we don't see the clues. We allow the clues to go by, and they keep coming up. They keep coming up. They keep coming up. They keep coming up. See, the only way you're going to reach your potential, as I close out today, the only way you're going to reach your potential, you have to be aware of what your potential could be. So that's the first thing. You have to be aware of what your potential could be. That's the first thing. And once you're aware of what your potential could be, you have to be more aware of when things happen that support that potential. Let me say that again. You have to be aware when things happen that supports that potential. See, because a lot of times we want certain things. And then when it requires us to go through some form of pain or some form of challenge, we say, oh, I can't get up. Like, literally, I had this conversation recently. And in that conversation, it was, I got slapped in the face, or, things didn't work out, the first time. As soon as I wanted to do something, bam, everything kind of fell apart. And I didn't do anything for a whole year. The potential is there. No one's not just getting stuff without a challenge, without a potential problem. So you got to know that there's going to be an obstacle. There may be 2, 3, 4, 5 obstacles for you to get what you want. But are you willing to go through those obstacles? The faster you can get through those obstacles, the closer you will be to your potential. So you got to be aware of what your potential could be. And you got to be aware, have to be aware of, things that come up that supports your potential. See, if you can do that, then I can't guarantee you when you'll get to your potential. I don't know, because I don't know how fast you're going to move. But what I can say is that if you are aware, see, awareness is the beginning. You have to be aware. And the reason why different people's lives look different is because of awareness. So those two things, you've got to do them. You got to know what your potential could be. So even if you don't know what it is, you got to think big then. Think big about what your potential could be. And then when things happen that support that potential, you got to be aware of that. Because you got to know that that's a clue. You've got to be moving towards that potential. You've got to stay focused. You've got to do what's necessary. And, you just got to keep going. You can't allow yourself not to do it. You can't allow yourself to say no to yourself. You've got to say yes, because only you know what your potential could be. Only you know when you're not living up to that. Only you know it. No one else will know it. So that's going to be between you and you. So what is your potential? That's for you to decide. All right, guys, I appreciate you for joining me today on this enlightenment program here on Facebook and also on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. I get so thrilled to do this program, even though every day I get a little nervous just before I turn on the record button, but I'm so thrilled to do this program every single day. And you know what? I look forward to connecting with you more and more in a deeper way, with showing you a deeper connection, that you can have in your life to reach your full potential, whatever it may be. So, guys, I thank you so much for joining. My name is Jay Moore, your healthy accountant, and I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. God bless you. Take care.